Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be making a video that I have been wanting to make for a long time. Ever since I started YouTube I had this plan to make this video. So today is the day when I got all the pieces together and finally made this video. I've been filming this since last summer. In today's video I'll be showing some clothes that I have made. These are all handmade by me with a sewing machine. I have made some of them many years ago and some of them more recently. So it's just kind of a mashup of the kind of clothes that I've made over the past few years. I have seen other people make this sort of video and they always get me so inspired to remake some of the things they have made or just giving the energy to sew some of things on my own. So I really wanted to make this sort of video for you guys. I think we're gonna start with the dresses that I've made. So this is one of the dresses that I've made more recently. I started this last summer and finished it by Halloween. You can see me sewing this underdress in one of my previous videos. It's really cottagecore, and that was the plan. I made the apron first, make an underdress for it from a different kind of fabric, and it ended up really cute. I think it's such nice summer wear for me to be wearing in my garden for the next summer. It's not the most practical one, but it's definitely a really cottagecore, and I just think it's really beautiful. The next dress is this one. This was originally supposed to be a tryout for this pattern that I was using, and I wanted to make a second dress but from like way more expensive fabrics, so I wanted to test it out before I started using that one. But I ended up liking this. This fabric is from, I think it was found in the basement of our house. It's really retro and it's an old sheet. The fabric is really cute. I absolutely love it. And all the details that I made, the ruffles on the front and the sleeves are like a little bit puffy, but not too much, just a tiny bit. And it fits really well. It's very flattering for my opinion. And can't wait for the summer to come to wear this again. Maybe more of a vintage dress than cottagecore, but I think it kind of goes both, and I can definitely see myself wearing this with like more retro hippie vibe kind of aesthetic look if I'm going for that. It's a very girly one and I like the flower pattern on it. I really like how this dress turned out. Next we can talk about the dress that I'm wearing. It's absolutely one of my favorites that I made for myself. It's kind of the same idea as the last one. It was supposed to be a tryout for another fabric that I was going to use for the same pattern, but I ended up loving it. It's also from an old sheet, like these retro sheets, and I usually don't wear a lot of orange and yellow because I don't feel like they fit my skin tone, but for something about this really fits my skin tone. I think it's because of my hair as well. This pattern is really easy to make. It's just really fitting and flattering. What else I want to say? I think I bought this fabric from a secondhand shop, or maybe I found it from the attic. I can't really remember. It's been sitting in my closet for years, waiting for a purpose, and I finally decided to make this cute little dress from it.
Fingerprints on a broken heart. So many miles I went on a faulty start. Guilt, break.
The next dress is an old one. I made this maybe in 2015 or 2014, so it's been with me quite a while, and it's absolutely one of my favorite winter dresses if I'm going to some event. It's this one. Beautiful. It's mostly red one, so it's absolutely one of my favorite tartan fabrics. Yeah, I love anything tartan fabric designs pretty much, so I think that's why this dress has been with me for such a long time. And you can match this with different kind of tops and get a very different kind of look. You can kind of style it to be girly, you can style it to be more kind of rock and roll, but the material is a little bit thicker, so I definitely prefer using it during the winter rather than summer. Really comfortable, really cozy. Definitely a pattern that I could be using in the future too. It's very easy to make. The next one I think is the most recent one I made. This one I made a few months ago, and it's this hoodie dress. You can't really see it when I'm holding like this, but it has a hood and long sleeves, and it's a long dress, goes right into my ankles. It's from this material that is really warm, and I wanted to have a dress that I could wear during the winter that would be warm and cozy yet flattering and fitting quite well. So I found this pattern on a magazine and I made this with a little bit help of my mom, because I couldn't really match the sleeves to look very nice, so my mom helped with that. This fabric I bought new, it's not secondhand unfortunately, but I definitely will be wearing it a lot. Great add to my winter collection. I think now we're gonna be moving on to skirts, which are one of the things that I enjoy probably the most to be making. They are so much easier than sewing trousers. It's so much easier to make them fit and look really nice and floaty, and I love vintage styles, so it's convenient to know how to make your own. First, I'm gonna wait. I made it a while ago. I think maybe 3 years ago or something like that. It was one of the first skirts that I was making without an actual pattern, and I didn't have a lot of these fabrics. I would have wanted to make panels and a little bit more volume on the bottom, but I didn't have enough fabric. One of the reasons I made this one was because I wanted something really warm to wear during the winter. I love wearing skirts even though it's cold outside, So this flannel fabric really made a perfect material for this sort of dress. I love the detail of having the buttons go all the way down. Also I made some few loops to have a belt because I love styling my skirts with belts. This fabric has been with me quite a long while as well, from 2010 I think, and I love the pattern on this fabric. I made some other things from this earlier in my textile design school, and I had some leftovers, so this was the leftover from another thing that I've made.
Starting to think I like being stuck, 'cause if you look at the sea.
Keeping with the skirts, you can't really see when I'm holding it what it's supposed to look like when I'm wearing it, but it's this kind of dress that you put on and you wrap yourself around it. I don't know what they call it in English, but basically you wrapped it around a few times and it's a dress. This fabric came from a secondhand shop. I didn't spend a lot of money on it, just a little bit, and I used completely like all of it to make this dress. You can even see there's a little seam on the bottom when I added more on the bottom because I think it was too short without it. When I made this one I didn't have any pattern. I was just looking pictures online and measuring my body and measuring the fabric and trying to figure out how is the best way to make this. It's not exactly perfect. If I would do it again I would know what to do a little bit differently. At some point I was just wearing this a lot with some black top. Girly, cute, flowy dress that I enjoy wearing. It's very light material, so it's really nice to wear during the summer, but it's a little bit cold during the winter. Well, I think next I will be showing some trousers that I've made. Now these are absolutely one of my favorite trousers. I think these are the first trousers I also ever made and are actually fitting and are actually comfortable and look really pretty. I was supposed to make only trousers, but then I ended up making this front for it, so I combined the front and made it to overalls. And they are something that I wore a lot last summer. I love the color, it's absolutely one of my favorite colors. It's not something that I could wear during the winter because you can't really fit anything underneath. The material, it breathes really well, so it's perfect when it's really hot outside. Plus I can wear it with just like a sport bra and it looks nice, or I can wear it with a t-shirt, or I can wear it with a sweater. So that's why I love it. It's very easy to combine with different styles. I had more of that fabric, so next I saw these kind of more loose trousers that are very comfortable. They're not very flattering. I don't really love the pattern. I don't know how else I could make it like loose, but at the same time kind of flattering. I think maybe I would need to do something with the waistline differently, maybe use a zipper and some buttons or something differently. This waistline is now a bit chunky, but these are really comfortable, and I can fit stockings underneath, so I can wear this during the winter. They are just easy to put on if I don't figure out anything else to wear and it's hot outside and I want to have trousers instead of a dress. This is definitely something I would go for. They are not the perfect ones I've made, but technically they are made well and in detail, but the shape of them, the pattern, I don't think is really something that I would necessarily repeat. Or maybe with a different kind of fabric it wouldn't get so chunky on the waistline. But other than that, they're quite nice. Oh, I think that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about those. That's, yeah. Okay, the next kind of category would be tops and vests and shorts. This one, I took the pattern from a top that I bought. The one that I bought had really bright pink color, so I didn't really know how to use it anymore. So I took the pattern and made this one. This fabric is from a second-hand shop, and I used almost all of it to create this one. In the original one I really liked the details. It was kind of this funky kind of pattern on the front, like these stripes were kind of cool, so I wanted to create something similar, and this is pretty much looking exactly the same. I think with some leggings or some kind of yoga shorts it would look kind of cool. But I also have styled it with a skirt, so it's just basically a top and you can see the little details on the front. Two items left, and both of them are vests. I started to be really excited about vests and making them when I was having this vintage style period. I still have, but I feel like I'm more going to this hippie retro looking. I took the pattern from old vest that I bought from a second-hand shop. For vest, it's really easy to create your own kind of looking vest, changing the pattern just a little bit. So that's what I did. So this is the first vest that I've ever made. I like how it turned out. It fits very nicely. The buttons look really cute and it has this detail on the back. This has a kind of lower cut. This fabric was on sale in a fabric shop. It was really cheap and I thought it would be nice to try with something that didn't cost me a lot of money. And it has this brown lining on the inside that was really difficult to sew on, but it doesn't show much, so it's alright. Very simple, basic vest to be wearing with vintage skirts that I have. I am quite happy how it turned out. The last one is another vest. It's a brown one, very basic one, very easy to style with vintage skirts again. I made the cut a little bit higher. On this one it has more bottoms and it's going higher, and in the back there's no detail much, there's just these two little things. This I feel I could style with a vintage look or with more like a boho girl kind of look, so I'm quite happy. those were all of the things I wanted to show in this video. I had made other things, but in the purpose of this video I didn't want to make it any longer. But let me know if you're interested in this kind of video. There's definitely more things that I can show you. Or let me know if you're interested of seeing the process of how I make my clothes, so I could be filming that too. I'm in no way professional when it comes to making clothes. It's just a hobby of mine, an interest of mine that I've been doing for many years, and I'm constantly learning more. I had this fear before if something goes wrong or if something is not technically correct. I didn't want to risk making anything. So it kind of stopped my creativity to make my own clothes. But watching other people on YouTube making their own clothes and just kind of swinging it as they go, using patterns from their own head instead of real ones, and just hiding things you can't really see underneath the seam. So it really made me more comfortable of making my own clothes too, and not caring too much if I make mistakes. I don't know, it's just overall sewing your own clothes should be fun. It's good to know the techniques and how the machine works, of course, and a little bit about the patterns and things. It makes it a lot easier, but also knowing that if that is scaring you too much or stopping you, if you're thinking you're not making the seams correctly or using the right fabric for a right thing, then just heck it, don't care about that. Just make your own clothes from whatever fabric you want. You'll learn as you make. That's the whole thing. It's a shame if that's the only reason stopping someone from sewing, as it was for me, because if I never start because of fear, I will never have any clothes that I've made. Let's not take sewing so seriously, shall we? Yeah, but it's been fun making these over the years, and I have a lot of fabric that I'm still waiting to use. I want to thank you everyone who's watching this video, and if you like this sort of thing, please subscribe my channel, and I will see you on my next video. Peace out!